It's been a really long time since I recorded this kind of video, and I don't know if I should really do it or not, but still I feel like I have to do it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. From the start, I'm telling you that lately I've been trying to structure the videos as much as possible to give you the most value in the shortest amount of time. I'm not able to structure this one. However, I think it's absolutely essential that at the very least I contribute my little grain of sand, because it's part of what I'm trying to fight for right now. The statistics for my channel are at rock bottom, and this will most likely contribute even more to that situation. However, I can't do anything else. I just logged into X while I was trying to prepare today's report, and I postponed it until tomorrow because I saw it. I postponed it because I saw it. An account that I don't even follow or anything, but with a series of images that I've been seeing for a long time. And honestly, sometimes they don't even let me sleep. I've been closely following the Vuelta a España, where I've seen the images. I saw the images, and I'm gonna try to show some of them here. I remember them and can't, but I'll upload it as is because I think it's necessary. And I think that even if it's just for a moment, that contributes my little grain of sand. So that these people don't have such a hard time, because they're really having a hard time, just like people here in Donbass have suffered a lot too, but that's not the point right now. Well, the Tour of Spain, it turns out that now it's getting a lot of attention and it's having a lot of problems because a group of Israeli athletes is participating, because there are very powerful businessmen from Israel who are funding all of that. And there's one, I particularly believe that basically what they're talking about is using sports to whitewash the state of Israel. And therefore, the genocide, because it is an absolute genocide. What is happening now in the Gaza Strip is truly terrible. I've wanted to talk about this for a long time, and well, I think the time has come. It hurts my soul that I can't spend all my time talking about all the horrible causes. I mean, about people facing tough times globally and all the just causes, and can I, in one day, to cover, well, some issues that for a moment seem more relevant to me. Anyway, Spanish compatriots have gone out to protest at the cycling tour, and there have already been several protests, some with Palestinian flags, and some people have come out holding rings wrapped up. Haha, like in white cloth, you get it, right? What it represents, and that in the Gaza Strip, it's basically the situation people live every day. And those images, well, while I'm here crying like a mourner, on one hand, I'm sorry, on the other, it's just how things are. And I think more than one of us should become aware of this issue. And what if on one hand I can't do much? For these girls, I mean, they're people who are starving, people who are really having a hard time. And it shouldn't happen. I can't do anything directly other than draw your attention to this whole issue, talk about it, even if it's just in a report. I'll try to do it. I also tell you more often to share images. Sometimes I don't share them because I feel really bad, both for sharing them and for not sharing them. Anyway, I'm sure you understand. And I already warned you that, well, I can't manage to structure this report. It's extremely difficult. Anyway, I feel true pride for my fellow Spaniards who are trying to do their best to stop, or at least to draw people's attention to what's happening in the Gaza Strip. And well, hopefully that way we can manage to stop it, because I think there isn't any good country in the world except maybe the United States. But honestly, maybe not even to the extent of being able to do so much harm all at once, like the state of Israel does right now and gets away with it completely. It's so incredibly unfair that here, for example, in Donbass, my fellow Russians are also trying to defend the civilian population who at one point was having a terrible time in basements with their children. There was a whole world telling lies about it, and now, well, there are still people. Well, the Israeli leader himself who has the nerve to speak that only beasts live there who are little more than savages. And well, I don't know how many of you watching have children, but just imagine for a moment that you have to go through something like that. And well, I don't even need to imagine it for tears to come to my eyes. I honestly can't handle this. It's been ages since I showed myself. I don't think I'm even a little expressive, but this is something I can't and don't want to stay silent about, and I think absolutely no one should. I'm aware that with this video I'm not really gonna change much, but well, if we all start, even if it's just from time to time, to remember what's happening there and talk to as many people as possible about the fact that it's an absolute injustice, because it really is an absolute injustice. So if we keep fighting in some way for that multilateral world order, which is what you're seeing on your screens right now, that's the best way to describe this. I plan to discuss it in today's report, but let's save it for tomorrow. Anyway, it might seem right that, well, they'll try to sell us that image, this idea that they're dictators, that they represent the worst in the world, but that's not true. Now, each one in their own country, they'll do whatever they want, but at least this new world that's emerging has the idea that each country has its own vote. And regarding the Palestinian cause, everyone more or less agrees. And honestly, in the West, nothing even remotely similar has ever been proposed. But above all, there isn't a single one of these leaders who has actually done anything that even comes close to the atrocity that is currently being committed by Israel in the Gaza Strip. Not a single one. What makes me angriest, thank you, is that there are still so many media outlets that aren't presenting it that way. But instead, they really try to whitewash the crimes that are being committed in that territory. It hurts me so much. Sometimes you think, well, karma should come, right? But no, the world isn't always as fair as we would like. I hope one day it will be. I really hope the time comes when I don't have to record videos like this anymore. And we won't have to all together call anyone's attention to any just cause, because the world itself will become much fairer and much more supportive. Forgive me. But I feel I must upload it as is. I hope so, June.